Hey guys, today I would like to talk about the potential of ChatGPT and Gen AI for digital accessibility. We see a lot of confusion when we take a look on the possibilities in the discussion in the accessibility community. We find two opinions. The one says, okay, we can do nothing with it, but it is disturbing our work. And the others say, cool, there's a lot of potential in it. What ChatGPT, of course, and other Gen AIs can do today is the composing of existing information. That means ChatGPT cannot extract new information, but it can make it easier to extract information. A new development, for example, is Notebook LM, a Google application, with which you can where you can upload or link information, different informations, and then you can ask questions on this information or research for relationships in this information, and that makes it much easier, for example, for people who are not who have not so much time or who are not able to make research because they didn't learn it. Perhaps people with reading disabilities who cannot read or make use of so much information. One thing I often heard is that AI cannot describe images. This is wrong, I think. For example, ChatGPT or Gemini can describe images. It is true that they are not always right, that the description is not always appropriate. That is true. But in many cases, for complex images, the description is very good and it helps to understand the information. And what is helpful about AI is, or Gen AI is, that you can ask more questions and you don't have to rely only on the description one person have formulated a long time ago. And you can have different kind of descriptions. That mean longer or shorter descriptions. That makes it much more interesting for blind persons. It is also right that the machines, the software can have bias. That is true and will perhaps always be true. But this is a fact. Humans also have biases. And when you know a software has biases, you can implement mechanisms to avoid those biases. Then you have the quality, the text quality is poor. For example, translations, automatic translations, or comprehensibility of understandable text. That is also true or can be true. But we have to say we are in the beginning of this software, especially of the software for more understandable text. That means we are in the beginning of the development. And when you see the speed of the development, you cannot say what software can do in, let's say 2, 5, or 10 years. But you can say it will be much better than that we now have. And if you see what ChatGPT already can do without much training on comprehensible text, you can say, okay, in the future it will be much more powerful than it is now. The limited intelligence, of course, is also right, but I don't think that that is applying here. We talk about artificial intelligence and not human intelligence in machines. And especially in Germany, we have the problem that the word intelligence is not very poorly described. In the English field, intelligence is not all necessarily human intelligence, but it can also mean business intelligence, for example. That means calculating, and that makes it very difficult, this discussion. Of course, it is true that you should not rely only on automatically generated code because, for example, in HTML, the automatic code is not accessible. That is part of the problem, but I think they will become better and better. For example, when you say, okay, I need this code for the sidebar or for the footer of the website, the machine can generate better code. That means there's a context missing. The missing context makes a problem. That means a human perhaps or probably would make the same bad code quality. What people generally say, or many people say generally, is that the AI is now very limited in its possibilities. This is true on the one hand, but on the other hand, we live at the beginning. Let's say it is the beginning. Perhaps you remember the beginning of the web 25 years ago, or the beginning, the rising of the smartphones. They have also had limited capabilities, and they are developing. And you see the creative power and the economic power which is lying there is very big, and you cannot say where AI will be in 2 or 5 years. But let's hope that AI will do many things we do not do now, because we have seen, okay, in 25 years we have worked manually on digital accessibility, and we have to say, okay, we have made progresses, but we are still on a poor level in what accessibility, in behalf of accessibility and user experience for older persons, let's say. I think the problem is that we have a lot of technical conservatism in the scene. The most people, or many, especially the older accessibility specialists, are relying on methods they have developed 10, 15 years ago. And what I see is that they are not willing to learn new things or to change their working methods. They are not willing to accept that there are new technologies, or perhaps they truly think that they are the only persons who know how to do it. And it makes it very difficult. The younger persons, or many of the younger persons, I don't want to generalize it, but many of the younger persons are more open to the developments in artificial intelligence, for example. I think there are a lot of possibilities, especially in the assistive technology field. For example, you can generate voices for people who cannot speak, or you can optimize speech recognition for people who have problems speaking. Perhaps you can develop an assistant which helps people to serve websites or to fill out, for example, um, their banking, or do their banking, or do authority stuff and things like that. I think there are many possibilities in the AI field, and many disabled persons are very open to these developments. Not all, Many people are critical, what is okay, or that is okay, of course, but many persons are also opened or already use it, and it would be not so nice when there are persons who cannot participate in this development. So this was it for the time. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be glad if you switch in again next time. Goodbye.